Thanks. Thanks. Hello, I'm excited to tell you about Ampll today. Just forewarning, we're not actually raising money yet. We're planning to be on the market in May. So we're mostly looking for beta users at the moment. But I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so let me tell you who we are and what we do. Next slide. My name is Guy, should be easy to remember. I've been starting businesses, technology businesses, since my freshman year in college. I've had some really successful ones that have been acquired and grown to be $150 million a year businesses and later IPO'd. And some success along the way. And my latest one was a total failure, right? So I raised $13 million, had a marquee VC behind it, but we were technology first and didn't have our problem, right? So we hit the typical problem that a startup hits, and it was excruciating as a founder. I was doing the worst work of my life, and I was working all the time. And the fact that I didn't have a heart attack and have a divorce at the end of this is something I'm super, super grateful for. But this opened my eyes in a big way to career burnout. It's something that we all potentially have looming ahead of us. So on the next slide, I responded to this by going through a journey of learning. I've been reading tons and tons of books. I've been following people like BJ Fogg, Adam Grant, Simon Sinek, Brene Brown, and trying to learn how to be a better person and to work better. And along the way, I even went back to college after 20 years and finished college during the pandemic. Also, a bunch of my Barracuda colleagues also had acute experiences with burnout. On the next slide, there's about 8 of us working on this, and we decided to start a company to eliminate workplace burnout. This is what it looks like when an entrepreneurial overachiever tries to slow down and learn how to take care of themselves. So we basically embarked on a year-long journey on the next slide to ask a really simple question. In the future of work, what's good about it, what's bad about it? What we learned was people love the flexibility and the autonomy that's coming with working from home, distributed workforces, kind of the new way we're working. We think it's a worker-led revolution, and we're super excited about that. The bad side is collaboration is a pain in the ass, and there's even more pressure to always be on because we're working at different times. So on the next slide, we asked ourselves a very simple question that became the cause of our company, the mission of our company. How can we help put people first at work? Seems like a really controversial idea, but turns out it's not just an altruistic one, it's good for business too. Because as Simon Sinek says, customers will never love your company until your employees love it first. And it shouldn't be too shocking, but the truth is, if you can help people work the way they work best and feel good about it, they'll actually do better work and you'll be more successful. So we've developed a system that focuses on energy, not time. There's a million different apps out there that are about time management, time blocking, productivity hacks. How can we squeeze one more hour of work out of each employee? We like to look at the human side of this. There's lots of research behind it. Linda Groton is incredible. I encourage you to read all the books she's written. But the basic is that we want to look at the human side of how people work. So on the next slide, that's what Ampll is. We're tooling for it. We've actually built a platform that you can install on your computer, hook to your calendar, and it helps you be a little bit more aware of where your energy level might be based on how much you're at tilt for the day. Just starting the conversation is amazing, even with yourself. Just thinking about the fact that you've been sitting there for 4 hours and skipped lunch. Thinking about the fact that you haven't got up away from your desk. Thinking about the fact that maybe you're in the product designer role and the CEO role, and you're not getting enough focus time heads down in Figma this week because there's too many meetings. Not that I have any experience with that. So it's a future work wellness platform to help teams put their people first. On the next slide, I think it shows a screenshot. We've developed this very simple energy system so you can look at yourself and see if you're full or empty. Of course, you know better, you can change it. But what's even better than that, it's a safe common language to bring this into the workplace. On the next slide, there's actually a screenshot. It's so rewarding to scroll down through your teammates and see where they're at and give them little bits of encouragement. If somebody's running really low, say, hey, maybe you should take a minute. If somebody actually did something, like when I go out and do my walks or my Peloton or my tonal, Apple Health will upload it to Ampll, and my teammates will give me a bolt and it'll reward me and say, good job, guy, and it'll actually encourage them to do the same thing. So we're on a mission to end workplace burnout. We think it all boils down to the word enough. Are you getting enough of what you need? Enough time away from work, enough time between your back-to-back meetings, enough focus time, enough sleep, whatever. And that's it. So that's who we are. Thanks.
That's awesome. How many in the room self-identified where they were on that chart? I bet when I started, people were all like, oh gosh. So any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
See the need, for sure, especially being a former founder, now investor. Talk about the revenue model. Who's buying this, and what's your go-to-market? How are you onboarding? Is it a dual-sided marketplace? Talk a little bit.
Yeah, thank you for that question. So we think it's super, super important to have the trust of the employees and the workers. So the worker is our hero. So we're bottoms up, right? So we're B to C to B. Very much similar to Slack, we want to win over the hearts and minds of people, even if they're just individual free users. We hope that they'll spread that culture on their team and invite some people to share with each other. Once there's some density within a domain or within a company, then we'll go to the company and ask them to pay for it. That also unlocks some really cool features. All right, make sure you check the Amber Alert. But for real, I've got 2 kids, and we should pay attention to that. So that also unlocks some really cool features that are more advanced. So for example, a company might say, you know what, we don't want our meetings running over by more than 20 minutes. We can actually help measure that and create attainment goals. Or we don't want our people to be on Slack after 9 p.m. local time, their time. That's something we can actually help measure and bring to life.
Following the Slack model for growth is really cool.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Because it's a very small, atomic, what do they call that?
Yeah, thank you.
Critical, mass. So,
we'll know in May.
Right, and then, for founders, I want to suggest that, especially if you have a personal connection to the problem you're solving, like you do, introduce that, because that really is the hook and makes what you're working on so much better. Last round of applause, please, for
Thank you.
Guy.
Thank you.
Next up.